Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11. You can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at some pitching for today, the 23rd of June. It is Tuesday. We do have a 9-game main slate ahead of us this evening. I believe we have some weather issues to worry about in Minnesota. The rest should be okay from my understanding. This is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, I'll cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with all that fun stuff said and done, let's just jump right into the pitching. My overall first look at pitching is gross. I'm not a fan of the overall pitching on this slate, but it's what we have to work with. There's plenty of money to be won this evening, so let's just take the look at these games. Milwaukee-Cincinnati. This game really let us down last night. I was completely wrong on Brandon Woodruff. I was completely wrong on the Milwaukee Brewers offense. I was just wrong. Do I think we're going to see another pitcher's duel tonight? No, I do not. But I would not have predicted it last night either, even though I guess last night with Woodruff probably had a better chance to being that pitcher's duel. Nick Lodolo, an arm that I do like, and I don't mind left-handed pitching against the Milwaukee Brewers. The problem is he just hasn't been very good. Not really interested in a guy that doesn't really strike out many guys and can have a walk issue. He also has given up, on average, 1 home run per start this season. 5 home runs allowed in 5 starts at home. Walk number jumps up. Just all of his numbers jump up when pitching in this ballpark. So I think the Milwaukee bats probably make more sense. Brandon Sproat on the other side. We obviously saw last night the K upside that the Reds offer opposing pitching. So maybe Sproat can capitalize on that. The problem is he walks a ton of dudes as well. Has been in the 60s for pitch count in each of his last 2 appearances. So I'm not too excited about trying to use Brandon Sproat. I guess his overall season numbers have been best when on the road. Not saying that they are great by any means, but they've definitely been better. With that said, I'm going to be fading pitching in this matchup once again this evening. Cubs-Mets rained out last night. I'm not really sure what we're going to see from the Cubs in terms of pitching. I'm just not sure. Shota's been scheduled to start the last 2 days, and then the rainouts. So right now we have Cabrera showing up. I like Cabrera more than Shota. If Cabrera starts, I think he's going to be in play for me. If Shota starts, he's probably not going to be in play for me. On the other side, we talked about Senga yesterday, and then last night on the live show. Just not somebody I'm interested in at all. He shows me a guy that should be solid at the major league level, but for the most part, just hasn't been. Cleveland and the White Sox. Parker Messick, the most expensive pitcher, I believe, on the slate, which is gross. That adds to the overall grossness of pitching on the slate. But, I mean, he's in play. He's been pretty decent in every aspect this season. He does give up more home runs on the road, which obviously can be a worry against a team like the White Sox, but I do think overall their lineup is slightly weaker against left-handed pitching, but Miguel Vargas has definitely done some damage to lefties, and then Randall Grichuk has been phenomenal with the White Sox against left-handed pitching. But aside from that, I think Messick's probably a pretty solid option. Sean Burke on the other side, somebody I'm going to go to coming off of an elite performance against the New York Yankees. Taking on the weekend Cleveland lineup. Probably don't have to say a whole lot. He is best when pitching. Actually, on the road has been better. They flip flop these numbers here. So at home, his numbers aren't as strong. So that can be an issue. But like I mentioned, the Cleveland lineup without DeLauder, without Jose Ramirez, without Angel Martinez, just a whole lot weaker. It's been profitable to target pitching against Cleveland since those guys went down with injury. So we should continue to do that tonight with Sean Burke. The Dodgers and Twins. Potential rain is an issue. Joe Ryan was scratched from this start due to an illness. We get Kendry Rojas. Not sure what he's been doing in the minors since he was sent down, but it's probably not enough for me to jump on Rojas against the Dodgers. Not gonna see a traditional start out of him either. So, yeah, it's just a bullpen type game, and the Twins bullpen's atrocious. So, stack the Dodgers if the game plays. Robleski coming off of an elite performance. He's looked pretty good in 3 out of his last 4. I think it's kind of a tough spot, but due to the pitching options, we might just have to go with them. Eric Lauer looked pretty good against the Twins last night. Excuse me. And Robleski throws left-handed as well. A couple of Twins bats are definitely out there for GPP upside. Byron Buxton has hit, 25 home runs in his last 54 games. Just a cool pace for 75 homers on the season. Or a full season, I should say. I think he did miss some games earlier. So, Robleski's probably somebody we're going to mix in, pending weather updates as the day goes on. Arizona St. Louis probably not getting to either pitcher. Kyle Leahy doesn't offer enough upside for me. Even though I am starting to pick on Arizona with pitching a little bit more, I just don't think Leahy is a guy that I'm interested in. Eduardo Rodriguez, read some data that he's been just extremely lucky, and I probably would have to agree. He's walking a ton of guys. Just kind of managing to wiggle through all this stuff. Could he come out and have a decent performance? Probably. He's on the road where he's been really bad from a fantasy point perspective. Getting away with a ton of base runners and only having an ERA at 3.38 says a lot. I don't mind left-handed pitching against St. Louis, but I'm not planning to utilize Eduardo this evening. Coors Field, Boston, Colorado. I did mention yesterday that I thought Jake Bennett could be in play just because I like left-handed pitching against Colorado. The problem is like he hadn't really gone deep enough. Didn't really know if there was going to be enough upside. He performed pretty well though. Sonny Gray, I think he can perform in this environment. I'm not sure if he's ever pitched in Coors. That's something I'd have to dig into. He is worse on the road, considerably worse to be honest. His strikeout numbers are better on the road, but he allows more home runs. I think based on how the pitching is, we might have to sprinkle in some Sonny Gray. I don't love the idea of it, but I just think we have to go with it. I am going to look at his numbers historically in Coors just to see how he adapts, etc. If I find something extreme, I'll probably have to remove him from my pool. Sean Sullivan, talked about in his last start, got lit up early on. Or just early and often. I guess I don't remember exactly how everything went, but being an extreme fly ball pitcher, not the greatest thing. Kind of depends on the environment, but I mean, I like the talent that he showed a couple years ago in the minors. The last year or so has not been the greatest for him. Just no interest, even though I have been picking on Boston with pitching. I'm going to guess that Wilson Contreras probably profiles really, really well in that matchup. Baltimore, the Angels, Ryan Johnson getting another start. This is one where he got lit up in the first inning against the A's and then settled in and was fine. The problem is like, this guy's got a huge arm but can't strike anybody out at the major league level. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he gets nervous or what. But he does not perform at the majors like he has shown in the minors. So Until he can get it straightened out, I just can't utilize him. Shane Baz, we just saw Bradish dominate again. The Angels offer the most K upside in baseball. Shane Baz is not perfect by any means. He does allow some base runners, some walks, a few extra hits, etc. But he has been at his best when on the road. His K numbers are a little weaker on the road. The walk rate jumps significantly. But overall, he allows fewer hits per inning or per nine, or however you want to break down the hits. He just has to be in play against this team. He does have K upside in his arm, so why not attack the Los Angeles Angels? Atlanta, San Diego, German Marquez coming off the IL to make the start. Looks like his last minor league start wasn't all that strong. His overall rehab was pretty solid. He only went 15 and a third innings across 4 starts in his rehab. He did go 5 in the last one. Strikeouts probably an issue. It's probably not a great spot. I did like Michael King last night against the Braves. I don't think I'm getting to German Marquez in this spot. J.R. Ritchie on the other side. I keep falling for some of these young Atlanta arms, and they kind of let me down. Can have an extreme walk issue, which is definitely worrisome. Gave up 3 home runs to San Francisco, of all teams, in his last start. San Diego's been pretty weak offensively. I don't know that I'm getting to J.R. Ritchie, but it's at least somebody that I want to look into a little bit more. Just because San Diego's been so bad offensively. They weren't very good last night either, even though Grant Holmes walked like 5 or something, I think it was. San Diego still only managed to score 2 runs, I believe, when it was all said and done. So maybe J.R. Ritchie is somebody we have to consider. I'm hopefully not getting to J.R. Ritchie. Last game on this slate is in San Francisco, the park that I love taking pitching in. But does that mean I have to play Aaron Savali? I'm really hoping not. He's obviously been far better when pitching on the road, which doesn't take a whole lot considering the park that he pitches in as his home park. I love picking on San Francisco, but I mean, he was solid against them the last time he faced them in Sacramento. Only 11 fantasy points, which is pretty weak because there's just no strikeouts. He has 2 strikeouts in 4 straight starts. 3 or fewer in 6 out of his last 7. Just doesn't feel like a whole lot of upside. Highest pitch count over the last 4 starts, 76 pitches. I'm just not sure I can get to Savali. He is coming off the IL, or he came off the IL to make his last start. 71 pitches, so I guess he could see an increase, but he wasn't very sharp either. This might be one of the times where I kind of pass on one of the pitchers in San Francisco. The Giants, Robbie Ray, a ton of upside coming off an elite performance against the Braves. His last time out. He's kind of all over the place, but I love the ballpark. I like the upside. There's plenty of K upside in this matchup, but there's plenty of volatility as well. We know how dangerous the A's lineup is. He definitely has been at his best when pitching at home. So that helps us out quite a bit in this matchup tonight. So Robbie Ray, especially based on the lack of real pitching upside we have on the slate, Robbie Ray just has to be one of your highest owned at this point. But there we have it. There's our gross first look at the pitching options on the slate. If you enjoyed what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put a link in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package, or code BESTBALL2026 for 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership, which does include access to the baseball content as well. There will be a link to the merch store. Check out my hoodie, some of the other designs. Hit the comments. Let me know how terrible you think tonight's pitching slate is. That's just being honest. But as always, best of luck, everybody.